We've almost arrived at Cordona. We're back where we grew up. Do you recall clambering over these walls as a child?
The governor gave his speech there. I was extremely irritated by his lies. I shouted my opinions very loudly for everyone to hear.
Behold, Sherlock Holmes's famous adherence to justice was born here.
Mycroft was angry but calm. He led me away from the stage.
I shall not indulge this petulant tantrum. It is time you come to accept that some things are bigger than yourself.
I hate to break it to you, officer, but it wasn't an accident.
Care to elaborate, smarty boots?
So what's your stake in this? You some sort of consulting detective?
Yes, I suppose you could call me that.
Oh, let's get back to the crime scene. I always love seeing you explain simple things to simpletons.
Of course. Explanations are my favourite part of any conversation. The bottle of wine I found near the victim had been poisoned with cyanide. This is a rich boy's game, a way to fight off boredom. This is a performative farce, a feeble excuse to avoid responsibilities, and that I was after a British noble who takes boxing lessons, and you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your pocket. Your wrists are bloodied, and there's no way a servant's manhandling could cause such an injury. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I know that you killed Thorne's crewmates, and I know why.
What's happening?
Oh my! It is quite something to witness those powers of deduction firsthand.
What can I say? I've always enjoyed working with the Holmes.
Before you go, impress me. What do you see? The position of the inkwell indicates that the victim is left-handed. However, the bullet entered the right temple. That's strange. The goodbye letter was written while the victim's glasses were left untouched upon the nightstand. Who would want their final words to appear crooked? Traces of a long dress. Is a crime disguised as suicide. The maid? No. I have it. They belong to the priest who wanted to retain ownership of the land for his presbytery. The first case on this island is closed.
That's incredible, Sherlock. You always impress me. Well, did you really think that you could come to this island without getting a little dirty? That investigation was easy, but this personal mission that brought you here, you know it's nothing but pain and madness. I know it's not so far from what's already in your mind. But once the truth is revealed, will it help? Watch your step, Sherlock. This quest might soil more than your shoes. You're not ready for this investigation.
Cordona's even quieter than I remembered. It's going to be a long evening.
Ah, come now, Sherry. What say we amuse ourselves with a little game?
Oh, promise me it isn't nonsense. After being cooped up on that boat, I am itching for activity.
Come on, it's not like we've got anything better to do.
This hotel, this island, it's full of thieves. First my cane, now the diamond.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I will investigate, and the culprit will be identified.
You sure you're in the right place? We don't serve cocktails here.
All right then, have it your way.
Who the devil are you? I won't go down without a fight.
If I wanted a fight, you would already be on the floor.
Is that so? Well, come on, pretty boy.
All right, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty to see criminals behind bars.
Okay, I give up.
Luca Gallici, I know you murdered Lady Craven, and I can prove it.
You are fantasizing, Mr. Holmes.
Holmes, you'll rue the day you gave me my cane when it comes swinging at your head.
That was too much fun, Sherry. I'm buzzing. Buzzing. Wasn't it fun?
Damn. Well, take one last look at the view, then we must be off. It's time to do what we came here for.
Sherlock! Friend! I wasn't sure you'd come. It's not healthy for handsome men to spend every night alone.
Huh, you may be right.
Then free yourself from inhibition and expectation. The night is young, and so are the guests. You should try to enjoy both. The more time you spend here in Cordona, the more I feel it my duty to bring you into our world and show you all we have to offer.
And what is on offer today?
On nights like these, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality. It's part of the appeal.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend.
But that is the point. Who are we to judge?
My ultimate duty is to provide the world with truth. That is a moral responsibility.
That's not morality. Morality is subjective, just like truth. There is little to be gained from indulging in it, and far better things to indulge in. And now, our evening begins in earnest.
First, dodge the shotgun discharge. Then, destroy the armor. Use the snuff box to distract the target. Discombobulate. Hello, and welcome to Sherlock Holmes Chapter One, an open-world action investigation game that lifts the curtain on what could be the first case of the world's greatest detective. Armed with his bright mind, unyielding stubbornness, and arrogance, young Holmes has no issue tackling lawbreakers face to face. In this video, we are going to take a closer look at what tools Sherlock has in his disposal to bring criminals to justice.
I'm sick of... Who's this peacock? Does he know who I am?
I definitely know who you are not. You're not a dictionary reader, at least. I wanted to see how you... pals interact with each other in your natural habitat. But I'm afraid I have to interfere.
While gunfights only happen ever so often, they require focus and fast reflexes. Sherlock's agility and speed give him the edge over his foes, but his relatively small health pool makes him a glass cannon. In addition, cover can only grant a few moments to breathe, but enemies will do everything in their power to smoke you out. It's a much more effective tactic to always switch positions and time your dodges. They can help reduce or even completely avoid incoming damage. Plan your actions ahead. Swoop in to land a blow and retreat to safety as needed. Most of the time, you will be facing two or more outlaws that work together. Some will constantly push you into close combat, while others will try to outflank you or mow you down from a distance. As you hastily maneuver among the crooks, use your sharp eyes to spot their weak points. Shooting these will stun your foes and give them an opening to get close and take them down. You can also use environmental hazards and your rechargeable snuff box for the same purpose. To arrest someone, you need to stun them first. Each takedown is the embodiment of Sherlock's arrogance. Face slaps, mid-air jabs. Put your opponents in their place. Some enemies will wear armor and helmets to cover their weak spots. Helmets can be shot off after all armor pieces are destroyed with precise gunfire. But while the non-lethal approach is considered canon, you still have the option to shoot and kill your assailants. We don't want to limit your options, especially if you lose control of the situation. Should you find combat too hard, you can always adjust its difficulty settings independently of investigation. In addition, you may go as far as skipping gunfights whatsoever and focus solely on finding culprits and exploring the world. Play the game as you want. If, however, you find yourself craving more fighting, consider visiting the bandit lairs. Each one is significantly harder than quest encounters and offers various challenges such as less health or no environmental hazards. Each time you survive a bandit lair, you will get a money reward according to your performance. The less shooting you do, the less damage you take, and the more challenges you activate. the better your score and reward multiplier will be. After beating each danger zone, you can use your money to buy new outfits or rebuild your family mansion.
Sherry, we've almost arrived at Cordona.
Travelling all this way simply to visit a grave? Even if it is my mother's.
You have so much potential, so much to offer society. Was all this worth it?
You never once thought to tell me. How dare you?
You don't have to do this. You don't have to go through.
My mother, she was not just ill.
Shelley, come here, darling.
It was lies upon lies.
You are throwing your life away in an act of moralistic vanity.
Just tell me everything.
Oh, grow up, Sherlock.
I need to know what happened.
Please be careful, Sherry. There is no coming back from this.
Why can none of you see it? The truth is the truth.
The big picture, Sherlock. The big picture.
My entire life, my work, my mind has been compromised.
Sherlock. Sherlock. Can you hear me? Come on, wake up.
Get off me.
Hello, and welcome to Sherlock Holmes Chapter One, an open-world action investigation game that explores the first steps of Sherlock becoming the world's greatest detective. You are Sherlock, a 21-year-old aspiring private eye who struggles to prove himself to the world. Before you lies Cordona, an exotic island under a British protectorate in the Mediterranean Sea. don't expect a warm welcome here. Most folks are prejudiced against foreigners, especially those who are well-dressed and easy on the eyes. That makes your job as a rookie detective even more complicated. Whether you're vaccinated or not, Sherlock Holmes Chapter One won't hold your hand as you investigate Cordona's darkest secrets. It's up to you to find your way around the island and to decide what your next step will be. In this video, we want to give you a glimpse at the seemingly elegant paradise, and more importantly, the tools that you will have at your disposal to analyze your environment and blend in. Let us also briefly take a look at the island itself. We designed it to be as varied as possible, with 5 unique districts for the player to explore. Each area offers fascinating vistas, colorful characters, and new side quests. The Old City District is an area mostly populated by the Ottoman descendants. Its architectural styles are influenced by Eastern and Southern European cultures. Giant fortress walls, famous Turkish bathhouses, the bazaar and the Caravanserai Hotel make it the tourist mecca. The Scaladio District is a bustling administrative center, mostly controlled by the British Empire. This area is as European as it gets, with City Hall, cathedrals, museums, banks, and hotels, all built by the Venetians in the before times. Here is Grand Sarai, an uptown district lined with opulent villas and luxurious establishments. It's a popular exotic vacation destined for the rich. Then we have Miner's End, the poorest district on the island. It is a shanty area, an abandoned silver mine with decrepit buildings and slums. And last, we have Silverton, an industrial district full of factories and warehouses, some intact, some abandoned. Rest assured, each and every one of those districts will treat you like a stranger. Most people won't take you seriously.
You sure you're in the right place? We don't serve cocktails here.
I'm looking for information about a sailor who recently drowned in Scaladio. Would you happen to know anything about him?
Maybe, maybe not. Why would I talk to a landlubber about it, eh?
In order to get closer to your suspects and gain their trust, you will need to change your overall appearance and how you act. This is where our new disguise mechanic comes in handy.
What can I get you, mate?
Nah, I'm good. Don't want to end up like that guy who drowned in the fountain after having one too many.
Throughout the game, new outfits can be purchased from vendors or earned by completing quests across the island. There are dozens of outfits, hats, facial accessories, and cosmetic items at your disposal. Use them to customize your Sherlock to your liking, and roleplay as a senior policeman, local trader, or even a pirate to get into closed-off areas. Sneak into the police's prison cells or private venues as you pursue the truth of Cordona's weirdest transgressions. However, while many situations require a specific outfit, it's only a piece of the puzzle. As a stranger on the island, you will need to approach its citizens and ask for help. There are several social classes within the game, like aristocrats, workers, lowlifes, and etc. Knowing who to approach, what questions to ask, and how to disguise yourself is key to getting the job done. Every item you select for your disguise will have to be accurate enough to give you credibility overall, so that each class is more likely to take you seriously and want to share information with you.
Ah, it's you! I mean, it's him! It's him!
Keep in mind, everyone on the island will react to your new identity either positively or negatively. Asking intel from a policeman while dressed as a thug will get you nowhere. But put on an aristocratic outfit, and some will give you the world. In order to check the potential reaction of someone, use the concentration mode. All the people of Cordona have 3 different default labels that will help you gain an overall view of who they are. First is ethnicity and occupation. Second is dynamic and will change according to the person and your current disguise. The third is a specific trait of this person. All Cordonians are unique, and you'll have to adapt to them to find your way through the island's mysteries. Let me give you an example. We're on the hunt for a mermaid. Apparently, there's someone going around killing sailors, and the locals believe it's a water nymph. While this sounds preposterous, we still need to find the culprit. So where would be the right place to start? Let's choose to head to the local saloon that the sailors frequent and talk to the bartender. The issue is, all we know is the saloon's name, but its whereabouts are sort of on the hush-hush. We can ask one of the sailors about it, but they are unlikely to talk to some fancy-pants rich boy. So, here's how I'm going to approach the situation. I'm going to buy a sailor's outfit and put it on. Then, I'm going to open up my casebook, select and pin the right evidence, the one that mentions the name of the saloon. With this piece of evidence pinned, I can approach people on the streets and ask them if they know something about it. Since I'm dressed appropriately, I'm more likely to get a reply. So as you can see, we aim to create gameplay elements that synergize with one another and give you engaging tools that are fun to use. At the same time, we leave it up to you to discover the synergy and think about how and when you want to apply it. After all, what makes a great detective is your intuition. And that's what we want to engage. We want you to use your gut feeling and follow what your intuition says. Thanks for watching our video. I'll see you in the next one. Hello, and welcome to Sherlock Holmes Chapter One, a psychological detective thriller that delves deep into the origin story of the world's greatest sleuth. At its heart, Chapter 1 is an open-world action investigation game with no hand-holding. You are free to explore the exotic and dangerous island of Cordona, take on numerous and challenging side quests, make your own deductions and moral choices, and should push come to shove, bring criminals to justice. We play as Sherlock Holmes, a 21-year-old eccentric, naive, and unheard of for now. We just arrived in Cordona, a Mediterranean island where Sherlock spent his childhood. This homecoming marks the 10th anniversary of his mother's untimely passing, and Sherlock wants to visit her grave and pay his respects. We're accompanied by our best friend Jonathan, or John.
Sherlock, don't get lost in this huge garden. Follow the sound of my voice.
And we need to spend the night in the hotel before we can proceed to the cemetery.
Cordona's even quieter than I remembered. It's going to be a long evening.
Ah, come now, Sherry. What say we amuse ourselves with a little game?
What were you thinking? Oh, promise me it isn't nonsense. After being cooped up on that boat, I am itching for activity.
No. As you can see, someone left a cane on our table. I simply thought you could identify its owner.
Ah, so it is nonsense. It'll take me a minute, John, at most.
John has challenged us to see if we could find the cane's owner on the first try. How we treat our friend will affect our relationship. If we repeatedly ignore John, kill enemies instead of arresting them, or keep failing his requests, our friendship may get worse. We can see what John thinks of our adventures in his diary. Now, let's do as he asks and find the owner of the cane. In Chapter 1, we can approach virtually anyone and ask them about the information we are looking for. To do that, we need to select or pin the right evidence, the one we want to know more about. Let us select the cane's evidence and see if someone has seen the owner.
Is this familiar to you?
I'll help you, sir. You have my full attention.
Hey, boy! That's my cane!
It was left at my table in the restaurant. I thought it deserved to be returned.
Well, I'll be... It is rare to encounter a straight-fingered true penny these days. What a gentleman. But I must ask, how did you know I was the rightful owner?
We can use Sherlock's observation skill to learn more about this person. Whether or not we make the right deduction may influence the flow of our conversations. And because Sherlock's skills are not honed yet, it is possible to get it wrong.
Simple deduction. Your cane told me everything I needed to know. I was after a strong, middle-aged man with a keen interest in adventure, noble blood, and affection for strong drink. And if one were to go further, one may even be able to extrapolate your name from your heraldic symbol, Lord Craven.
Marvelous. Simply marvelous. That's me, Lord Andrew Craven.
Let's skip ahead. What seemed to be a boring night is rapidly spiraling out of control. We go from identifying the cane's owner to a hunt for a missing diamond, and finally, a gruesome murder. We now have two suspects in play. We've already questioned both of them, inspected the crime scene, and found enough clues to make an accusation. But who should we accuse? To solve this, we need to piece our clues together and find the right criminal. Let's go to our mind palace, where we can combine different clues into theories or conclusions. Based on how many clues we have found and how we interpret them, it is possible to reach completely different verdicts and as a result, accuse an innocent person. If we accuse the wrong suspect, the quest will not fail, so the choice is ours to make. For the sake of this demo, let's blame Lord Craven.
You are dangerous, Lord Craven. Beating your servants is one thing, but murder is another. You will not get away with this.
Keep in mind, later on there will be more evidence, more suspects, and more choices to make. Some conclusions will be available early, but it does not mean that they're the right ones. Now, let us step outside and explore Cordona. It is a bright, colorful place that offers numerous opportunities to learn more about the world, unearth its treasures, and find new quests, big and small. Some of these quests allow us to bring to light Cordona's many atrocities, while others reveal what Sherlock and John's island childhood was like, or even explain how Holmes picked up his iconic items. For example, one of these quests will send us on a chase for a stolen violin. Yes, that very same violin. By the way, we will be able to read more about our adventures in the local newspaper.
Interested in some Cordona news?
And Sherlock will often bring his findings to the family mansion. Speaking of the mansion, it will serve as a hub during our stay on the island. Most of the Holmes family property was auctioned off soon after Violet's death, and we will need to track it down to restore our home to its former glory. The mansion is also a fundamental part of the main storyline, guiding the answers behind its closed doors. Here, we will receive new mail and meet people that will come knocking in pursuit of assistance. Finally, let us take a closer look at our combat system. We carefully examined your feedback on it from the sinking city and revamped the whole concept from the ground up. Our priorities were smarter AI, tighter controls, convincing sound effects, and better pacing. We wanted to create a system that would be more of a puzzle rather than a straightforward shooter, and utilize Sherlock's key attributes like bright mind, agility, and arrogance. Should you enjoy our combat system, you can also test your skills in the danger zone. They pose a harder challenge than quest fights, but offer money rewards that you can spend on new outfits or furniture for the mansion. However, we know that our core audience may find gunfights to be an alien element in the detective gameplay. So, we will give you the option to tweak the difficulties of both investigation and combat, or skip the latter whatsoever. You will have the choice to play the game as you see fit. Thank you for watching this demo. Pre-purchase the game now to receive additional content and subscribe to our social media channels for more news and gameplay. Take care, everyone.